The Nikon AF-S 85mm f1.4G is a prime lens with great credentials. Extremely quick and precise, this is the fastest AF 85mm I've ever used, allowing greater employments besides portraits. And its image quality is phenomenal. The resolution is high where it should be, and the bokeh is buttery smooth, qualities that rarely get along. At 595 grams, it's lighter than Canon's 85mm f1.4. Besides having focus and aperture motors, it's unbelievable that Nikon built the 85 f1.4 with more elements, and it's lighter than the competition, like the Canon f1.2L. And at 8.38 centimeters, it's not big. It balances perfectly and it's not front heavy. On the outside, the plastic body features just a manual focusing ring and the AF switch. The ring is made of rubberized metal, recessed into the body. And there's no play between external and internal movements, perfect for precise manual focus. And inside the silent wave motor is the f1.4G best feature. It's impressive how the D800D precisely locks focus wide open, and it is fast, years ahead of the Canon f85. It brings new uses for indoor sports with lots of light to freeze your subject, without compensating via the ISO. At the front, the 77mm filters are huge and don't turn during focusing, nice to use with polarizers. The included lens hood fits on a different thread and is not much thicker than the lens itself. At the top, the distance window is easy to read, and at the back there is a rubber gasket around the mount, but the lens is not weather sealed. Overall, it impresses for its lightness, ease of use and precision. You're not reminded all the time you're shooting with a large aperture prime because it's not front heavy, the focus is fast, and the external plastics are average, not very premium. But after some shots, when you are rewarded with high-resolution files and awesome bokeh, you start to realize this is indeed a very special lens. With super integrated coating and nanocrystal coatings, the 85 f1.4G is based on a double Gauss design for high resolution, and the lack of ED or spherical elements renders creamy bokeh, two antinomous qualities balanced together. Images come out with a strong background blur, and the classic shallow depth of field, great to isolate your subject. Lateral chromatic aberrations are non-existent, and the astigmatism is low wide open, the same for geometric distortions. The contrast is high although some flaring exists. At f1.4, the sharpness is great but there's a visible lack of resolution around full-frame corners. It's really on tiny squares near the edges, where your subject shouldn't be at the first place. Stopping down to f2 gets rid of most of the blooming but the depth of field remains short, making it hard to nail focus. And stopping down to f2.8 gets perfect files. The axial chromatic aberration is high and some edges get weird colors, but it keeps improving as you stop it even further. Stopping down over f4 fixes the remaining chromatic aberrations and it's great for architecture and landscapes. Contrast is perfect and we can appreciate colors, shapes and textures. The bokeh is smooth at any aperture thanks to the rounded 9-plate aperture. Fussy backgrounds are melted, highlights become large light blobs, that by itself generates interesting shots. A short telephoto large aperture prime with fast AF. It easily goes from the studio to the field, locking focus with the D800D even wide open. The resolution is high as you expect from a $1,500 prime. But the optical flaws are all there, and behave like any other lens. Stop it down 2-3 stops for perfect files. At least the astigmatism is zero as the field curvature. If it's worth staying in your kit. Absolutely. The problem is the AF-S 85mm f1.8G, even sharper at large apertures and costing $1,000 less, although its bokeh is not as smooth. Do you need extreme sharpness or smoother bokeh? Nice shooting!